Yeah.
So I feel like we're having a convergence of things right now. So obviously AI has been a massive change in the technical landscape, and then I think robots are very much coming. We keep seeing previews, but I think at a 20K price point, the physical labor is going to change, and then you have AI plus robots, so they're smart robots, and then there's also kind of this looming aspect of quantum encryption, quantum computers,
Yeah.
quantum security.
Mm.
What actually matters for a technologist today or in a year or in a few years? Do we need to start quantum encrypting endpoints? Like, do we need quantum encryption databases? Is this more theoretical, but then it becomes an issue once a quantum computer becomes mainstream? I mean, what's what should we be thinking about and talking about?
No, it's a great question, right? No, I don't want to be all gloom and doom. That's why I was smiling. I mean, that's a life of a cybersecurity professional, right? Like, I mean, that's what the job is, so much more fun. There's always a new challenge that we have to go understand and solve. Um, so quantum, we believe, right? If you look at the Shor's algorithm, which is a mechanism to break the cryptography as we know, right? Cryptography today is based on factorizing two large, numbers and factorizing them, right? Which is usually takes um, close to 80 million years on a regular computer. That can be done in a few minutes in a quantum computer, right? Just to complete that. Yeah. So when you do that, public key, as we know, is going to be broken. Symmetric key is going to be probably half. And that puts a danger in how, in all the authentication systems, attackers are going after a notion of harvest now and decrypt later, not with the intention of understanding, my account number or your account number and how much money you have, because in 3 years, we probably have different number, right? But understanding how the semantics of the operation, right? The ability, the back and forth communication of that, right? So
And let
there
me
is a.
just break that down for anyone who doesn't isn't technical
Oh,
or
sorry.
doesn't know this world. So we have passwords and we have API keys and all this kind of stuff. And the way in which it's encrypted currently, it would take 80 million years, you said, to be able to decrypt. But with a quantum computer, it can do it in minutes. And so, but quantum computers aren't really mainstream. They're not necessarily. They're very expensive. It's hard to really use. They're right. So there's kind of limitations right now. But instead of just waiting until that is more available, malicious people are just capturing all this encrypted data that they can't decrypt. But then at some point they know they will be able to decrypt it, right? And so that's kind of what you're talking about of
That's yeah.
capture
No,
now, decrypt later.
yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. So there is a threat. There is a threat for sure. It's a question of time. And if you look at the organizations like NIST and NSA, they are predicting turn of the decade, right? And if you look at NSA, they've done a really good job of providing a prescriptive guidance in terms of, start with browsers right now, then evolve over a period of time to all the way till 2030 or 2031 until you finish everything that needs to be modernized or uh, quantum safe cryptography enabled, right? NIST has accelerated the standardization of the quantum safe algorithms.
And what is
IBM
NIST?
NIST is an organization that provides standards like AES and encryption standards in the organization, right? So uh, national information, something, I forget.
They tell us
Yeah,
how to encrypt and what to encrypt.
yeah. Well, it's basically defined. It's a standards body. It's focused on interoperability in the industry base,
Gotcha.
right? And one of the work that NIST has done is to say, as we see the threat of quantum, it has issued a request for different organizations to propose algorithms that are going to be quantum resistant. And I believe that process started about 4 or 5 years ago, just finished. 65 different companies submitted. IBM was one of the finalists, and very proud to say that four of the five algorithms came from IBM. So those are now become the standards. Just like when we say RSA, right, or
Hmm.
when we say
Hmm.
AES, these are encryption standards. The next generation of quantum safe cryptography is what NIST has published. Now,
If you enjoyed that clip, there is much more of that conversation. Make sure to check out the full interview where we get into so much more. And if it was helpful, click the like and subscribe button. If not, no worries. Hopefully, I'll convince you next time. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy wherever you are.